Hi, my name is Ruthie Christensen, and I'm going to be examining baby Cora today and doing a newborn exam on her. Her parents are right here, and they're going to be watching me as I go through the rest of all of her exams and kind of walking you guys through what I will be doing. All right, so while she's nice and peaceful and sleeping right now, I'm just going to listen to her heart rate and her breathing rate and see that everything sounds good. All right, we'll keep her nice and cozy with this blanket on while we're doing this. Perfect. Okay, her heart rate was 130, which is great. Makes sense because she's sleeping right now. We want the heart rate to be anywhere from 110 to 160 is kind of the range that we look at because she's sleeping. 130 is totally great and normal. I'm going to listen to her lungs and just make sure that things sound like they're clearing and stuff. Great, that sounds super great. That was around 134. Now I'm going to listen to her bowel sounds and kind of see if I can hear her bowels moving in all of her different quadrants. Perfect. Okay, I heard it in 3 out of the 4 of her quadrants, which is totally normal. That's great. All right, what else? Let me check kind of her nostrils while I have my stethoscope out. I'm just gonna hold down one of her nostrils and see if I can kind of hear her breathing to make sure that her nostrils are patent, which just means that they're open. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay. Now I'm going to put this on her. This is a pulse oximeter, and it is just going to test to see what her blood oxygen right now is. See how good her heart is working, and her lungs are working to get oxygen through her blood. There we go. That's running. And I'm going to take her temperature over in her armpit right over here. She's doing so great. She's so calm. Beautiful. Her pulse ox is 98. 97.5. Perfect. Remove this. Alrighty. And now I'm going to get some measurements on her. So we'll see how long she is. measure from her head. I'm kind of holding it still with my thumb, finger right about there. 19 inches, perfect. A little length. See how round her head circumference is. 13 inches. Great, and 12 3/4 of an inch for her chest. Alrighty, what else do I want to see? Okay, I think that's good over here. Now we're just gonna feel her head. She's cold, she feels great. I'm just gonna keep this blanket on her still, keep her nice and cozy. Just gonna feel her head, make sure that we're not feeling any bruises or bumps or deformities or different things like that, or birth trauma. I can feel her suture lines right here. And then this is her fontanelle. You got one right here, and then there's a nice little fontanelle right there too. And everything feels great. There's slight molding, which is totally normal with vaginal births. Look at her turning her head, noticing that her neck is moving normally. Her ears look great. There's no webbing. They kind of bounce right back whenever I flip them like this. They're lined up with her eyes, so they're not offset in any way. They look patent. They're going right through. Yeah, you can see inside they're not closed off in any way or filled with fluid. Just gonna look at her eyes so that she sees a little more awake. You don't see any signs of jaundice. Her eyes are moving great. Her pupils are dilating. Her eyelids look very normal. All right, I'm just with my little pen. I'm gonna kind of check her red light reflex that's in her eye. See, her pupils are dilating, and there's that red right behind her eyes. Looks great. I'm gonna check her mouth. Oh, look at that. Second. That's great. We love to see that reflex. Her palate up on the roof of her mouth feels nice and hard, which is exactly what we want. I feel a little bit of a lip tie up at the front, not anything super major. You feel down here. There is a slight tongue tie. You can just let me know if that's going to give you any breastfeeding struggles. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's a pretty quick and easy procedure to get those removed if that would improve your breastfeeding at all. Yeah, her tongue feels great. Everything is in its right spot. You don't see any webbing on her neck at all. Looks very normal. And then I'm going to feel her clavicles right here. This can be a very common thing. Babies' bones are really delicate, and so in vaginal births, their clavicles can actually break pretty easily. But hers feel great. I'm not feeling any bumps or breaks at all here. Just gonna kind of look over her general appearance. You don't really see any signs of jaundice. Look how perfused she is. There's not any purpley spots, even down to her fingers. Everything looks very great. Her blood is circulating. Now I'm going to kind of feel her little breast buds. Yep, that is perfect. Just going to feel and see if I feel any masses. We want everything to be nice and soft, no weird lumps. She feels great. You can feel her liver over on this side. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna kind of move down and look at her little lady bits. Her majora, labia majora, is on top of her menorah. You see a clitoris in there. It's not swollen. Her vagina looks patent. There's no weird discharge or anything going on. Everything looks very normal and like a full-term baby. All right, let me look down at her anus. Move this blanket. Yep, anus looks great. It's It's nice and patent, normal looking. And now I'm gonna kind of test out her hip mobility and see if I hear any clicking. Everything is moving great. She's got full range of motion, no clicking. Now I'm gonna kind of move over and look at her spine. Look at that, very straight, good posture. Not feeling any missing bones or vertebrae at all back here. I'm gonna count her little fingers. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little digits on both of her hands. And then she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. She got all her fingers and all her toes. We always got to count because sometimes they look normal and then we actually might have a 6th one. Her arms, everything looks nice and symmetrical. There's nothing off. She's very healthy. All right, and now I'm gonna check some of her reflexes. So this one is just a rooting reflex. I'm gonna pet on the side of her head and you can kind of see her head wants to turn towards me. That's the rooting reflex. And that will help with breastfeeding. As she kind of can feel your skin, she'll want to turn toward you. I'm gonna feel her grasp. She's grasping nice and tight onto my fingers. I'm gonna kind of lift her up slightly and let her down. And you can see that her arms are flailing out and they're nice and even when they're doing that. That's the moral reflex. We already checked her sucking, it was great. I'm gonna check bab skin when I'm gonna put my thumbs on here and look, she just curls right around that. And then I'll flick up to the plantar and she flails her little toes out. That looks awesome. And then we're gonna check her stepping reflex. She is stepping, makes that all of her hips and everything are in place. Alrighty. Don't notice any abnormalities with her skin, anything like that. Yeah, she's got, doesn't look like she has any birthmarks at all. Oh, she has a little birthmark on her hand, so I'm gonna note that. That's so cute. Yeah, everything else looks very, very normal. You can kind of see she has all of this little fine hair on her, which is very normal. We don't see any tufts of hair at all, or patches, which is good. Yeah, okay. She looks like the perfect little baby. I'm gonna give her back to you, Mom, and you can breastfeed her if you want. Let me wrap her back up for you. Okay, thank you so much.